Hi everyone, welcome to this session on how to use AI agents for work. Today we are going to look at introduction to AI agents for work. Over the next sessions, we are going to be demystifying AI agents, what they actually are, how you can put them to work, and how you can use them effectively. Today, I want to take you through three things: how AI got to where it is today, what we really mean when we say an agent, and how these systems are actually built. By the end of this session, you will keep hearing generative AI agents, agentic systems, and when you hear them, they will make practical sense for you and the way you work. So let's get into it. Before we talk about AI agents, let's start with a simple question. Why generative AI at all? Why is everyone paying attention? It really comes down to three things. First, speed. It saves you time doing things in seconds, what used to take hours. Second, quality. It improves the standard of your work, not just pace. And third, intelligence. It can analyze vast amounts of data and surface insights you never have time to dig out yourself. So, speed, quality, intelligence. Hold on onto these three because everything that follows builds on them. Now, let's put this in context because AI did not appear overnight. Think of it as a journey from rule-based software to intelligent agentic systems. So, back in the 1950s through the 80s, we had software programs that are fixed handwritten rules, no learning at all. And honestly, most of our automations still use or still run this way today. Then from the 1990s into the 2010s came machine learning. Instead of writing every rule by hand, the system learns patterns from many examples. From 2012 onwards, we had deep learning. Deep learning arrived. These are layered networks loosely modeled on the brain, and they are able to understand far deeper context. For example, for deep learning, we are looking at images, videos, and very complex data. But for machine learning, we are looking at structured data like your database tables. So machine learning did more of learning from simpler systems, but deep learning had to be extended through neural networks to learn complex systems. Then, as the timeline accelerates, in 2022, we got generative AI. So these are systems that create new content. We are looking at ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. These are examples. And in 2023, AI agents, this is when a model is given tools and a task, so it acts, not just writes, like the normal chatbots that you have. Right now, we are moving to agentic AI. You give it a goal, it plans, it owns the steps, and this is what we call the front. This is the frontier today. And looking ahead, we have the idea of the AGI. This is artificial general intelligence, which we believe will have human level reasoning both in digital and physical worlds. But there is no timeline for this because there is still a lot of research that should be done. So it's not something that we can plan around today. What matters is where we are now. So, what actually sets an agent apart from normal chatbot? There are six characteristics. One, it's task driven. It owns a task from start to finish. Two, memory. It keeps context around across steps so it doesn't forget what it was doing. Three, we have the tool use. It can operate real systems and web browsers like databases, email, and your websites, web browsers like Google Chrome, Edge. Then we have the fourth one, skills. These are specialized methods. Think of them like standard operating procedures that you can, that shows you the step by step on how you do work. So that same way you give AI skills, showing them step by step on how to do work. You can create this yourself and give it to the AI agent, or you get the AI agent to create them for you. Now, five, we have triggers. So AI agents are not prompt dependent. What I mean is that you don't need to prompt them all the time. You just give them a system instruction and give them the task. So for them to work, you need something that can start them, and they can start on event or a schedule, not just when you prompt it. So event is when something happens, do this task, or time triggers or schedule are like every 9 o'clock on Mondays, do this task. Then we have the sixth one, which is communication. It can work across chat, email, WhatsApp, and any UI that you want to use. And I think with voice call, voice agents as well, your telephones, text messages. So an agent isn't just something you talk to, it's something that does work for you. Now, the agentic system takes everything we just covered in the previous slide and now goes further. The first six are familiar. So the first six are familiar. But notice the shift when instead of being task driven, it is now goal driven. It focuses on accomplishing goals based on measured KPIs and also accomplishing full processes end to end, not just one task. So a process can be made up of more than 3 or 4 charts. So that is that. It also has memory, tools, tool use, skills, triggers, and communications. But it then adds capabilities that make it genuinely autonomous. So the seventh one is loops. It repeats actions until a condition is met. Eight, it has a human checkpoint. It refers to decisions it shouldn't make alone and it should get back to the person. Then we have nine, which is monitoring and evaluation. Here we get the AI agent to feed its reasoning and results back for review. And finally, it's self-improving. It learns from its errors. It also plans. It breaks goals into steps and adapts the path as it goes. And number 12 is persistence. What we mean here is that for agentic system, they keep going until the job is done and retries when something fails. The key takeaway here is that an agent completes a task and an agentic system pursues a goal or checks itself and improves with humans kept in the loop where it matters. So how do you actually build one of these things? There are two pathways, no code and with code. And the right choice really depends on who is doing the building. You don't need to be a developer to get started with building AI agents for work. And that's exactly what I want to show you next. Let's start with pathway A, the no code. Here you build by configuration, not programming. So there are platforms that have set up systems that you can build agents. These are well-known platforms that use even your day-to-day activities. And this is the route for non-technical professionals, business users, and process owners. Right now, you don't need to depend on software developers to build tools for you that you use for work, but you can actually build a lot of tools that will help you in your day-to-day work activities. So even if you're a business user, even if you are non-technical, you can understand and you don't write any code, you can understand these systems and use them quite easily. So there is a growing toolkit here. We are looking at Claude Cowork, OpenAI Codex, Microsoft 365 agents, Google Anti-Gravity, N8N, and a lot more. But for today's session, the tool we are going to be using, or for this session, the tool we are going to be using is Claude Cowork, where you will build AI agents in plain natural language with no developer needed. You describe what you want and it builds it for you. Now, when we want to build this AI agent in the Claude Cowork, for example, or any of these platforms, there are important things to look at. You you have to know that every AI agent has a goal, it has instructions, it has knowledge, it has skills, it has tools, it has triggers, communications, plus human approvals. The technology underneath might differ, but the parts are identical across all these other platforms that we have mentioned. And that leads to the real insight. The challenge is rarely writing the code. The challenge is understanding the process, knowing what works well, and being able to describe it clearly. So get that right, and the tools to do, and the tools will do the rest. That's where we'll pick up next. So in the next video or the next session, we are going to go hands-on and show you how to set up your first AI agent in Claude Cowork. Thank you and join us in the next video.